Hello and welcome to this special conversation on the Squirrels.in. Over the last 1 week, the entire country has been kind of confused, kind of curious about the questions which have been raised by the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi believes that there is some big jhol, dal mein kuch kala hai, as far as the election commission is concerned and as far as the process of electioneering itself in India is concerned. With me, one of the foremost voices when it comes to the business of conducting elections, former Chief Election Commissioner, someone who's just written an absolutely outstanding book as well about electoral democracy in India, Mr. TS Krishnamurthy joins us live. Great pleasure for us to be welcoming you, Mr. Krishnamurthy, here on the Squirrels.in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Firstly, let me congratulate you, sir, on the new book that you have written. I have read it myself and I'd urge all citizens to go through that book. It's full of anecdotes, full of data, full of information. Mr. Krishnamurthy, let me straight away first ask you to respond to one basic question which everybody from Bangalore to Delhi, from Mumbai to Kolkata is now grappling with. Is all well with the Election Commission of India? Is all well with the process of casting one's vote which should go to a specific party? Is all well on that front, sir?
Well, as far as I understand your question, the electoral process as it is conducted now is no different from what it was earlier. Well, the electoral process procedures may be having some slight variations, but as the election is conducted under the provisions of the Representation of People's Act, there is no major change as such. I think due to use of technology, certain changes have taken place. But be that as it may, the essential ingredient of conducting an election hasn't changed substantially.
But the confusion which exists today, sir, on minds of many people of the country is specifically in the context of certain allegations which have been made by the opposition party. And may I say, have continued to be made by the opposition parties. Is it possible in our country for someone's vote to be deleted by a third party without the knowledge of the Election Commission?
Well, as prescribed by the procedure, and no third party can really interfere with the process of registration or deletion of the names. I'm glad that in recent times, the voter register has received a lot of attention from political parties and probably from politicians. The question is, the voter register is the most important ingredient of electoral process in any democracy. Unfortunately, because of the certain characteristics of our functioning democracy, the voter register has never been 100% perfect. Although attempts have been made over the years to improve the quality of accuracy for the voter register. I would like to recall when the first election was held, when the first Chief Election Commissioner introduced the process of registration. You'll be surprised to know the instruction was, whoever comes to register, please include the name. Whatever address is given, just take it. Because that was the time when the partition took place, there was no proper address or no proper identification of the voter. From then on, we have moved on. We have a reasonably good system, though it cannot be said to be perfect. That's because the population, the voting population number is substantial, and because of the migration of the voters from one place to another, and also because of the process of door-to-door verification has not been done periodically as it was earlier done. With the result, sometimes the door-to-door verification takes place after a long gap of time, and they will find a lot of deletions and a lot of inclusions, sometimes running into lakhs. Sometimes you wonder whether the process is right or wrong. But whatever it may be, the registration has not been given the important role by the political parties. They are supposed to verify the voter is supposed to verify whether the name is there or not, whether it has been excluded or not.
No, but help me understand this, sir, because that's where the real crux of the problem is. Mr. Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, in his capacity, which is a constitutional post as leader of opposition, is making this argument that third-party individuals have taken over this process of deletion of names of people from electoral rolls by putting up fictitious applications. So I'm trying to understand from you that is that situation possible at all? That can I fake your identity, and can I, on the basis of your identity, make a recommendation for someone else's name to be deleted from voters list? Is that possible?
The fictitious applications could be filed, but then they cannot be accepted without verification. So there is a process of verification before the voter name is included. If the employees charged with the responsibility of verification abdicate their responsibility and then include it, then there is no answer to this because this mistake can happen. But there are clear instructions that whenever a new name is to be added, it has to be verified. And then only then the name has to be included. There is a proper statutory form prescribed. There is a need for authentication of the person and identity. And if in spite of that it takes place, either it is incompetence or negligence.
No, but what you're describing, sir, incompetence and negligence. Could incompetence and negligence, if it ends up unfolding on a large scale, could it end up creating this problem that Rahul Gandhi is talking about?
Not to my knowledge. I do not think such large scale things can happen. But then it is a human institution. I do not know. It may have to be verified whether the allegation is right or wrong. Because it's very easy to level an allegation. What is important is to ensure that whether the allegation is the authority or evidence or just for political purpose. Because I do not want to enter into the political aspect of this problem. But the fact remains the voter registration has to be perfect and we have to take steps. And if the political parties also are taking interest in the accuracy of the voter register, it is good sign indeed. For a long time, the political parties have not been doing it in spite of copies being forwarded to them. I'm aware during my period also, there have been allegations of, a voter register not being perfect. So we used to send, for example, a few by-elections, we used to send our team to go and make a test check of the accuracy of the voter roll. But it is certainly a point where we need to do work on it. We have to improve upon it.
What about this other question which has been raised consistently, sir? Between 2024 Lok Sabha elections and the succeeding Maharashtra Assembly elections, the allegation being made was that a huge number of voters have been added to the Maharashtra election list. Now, it is being said that a huge number of voters have been deleted from certain constituencies in Karnataka. This sudden increase in the voters list or sudden decrease in the voters list, should it be a case of arousing suspicion for us, sir?
If you do not do the door-to-door verification every year, and if you do it only after a long gap, this kind of a problem is bound to exist. Even when we were there at the time of the West Bengal elections, I remember, though I do not remember the exact figure, lakhs of voters' names were removed and lakhs of voters' names were included because of the change in the voting population. So I am not surprised if the number is large. But if the inclusion has been made without proper verification, then it is a cause for concern, no doubt about it. And that is the reason, I suppose, the Election Commission should take up the periodical door-to-door verification without giving too much of a gap, because such huge bulk additions or bulk deletions should be avoided. But it is there even, as I said, even when we were there, bulk additions were there, bulk deletions were there because the door-to-door verification has not been done periodically.
Okay. Tell me, Mr. Krishnamurthy, you sat on that hot chair, sir, on that hot seat. And I remember the situation between 2002 till the time when you were yourself the Chief Election Commissioner, it was also pretty volatile. The manner in which the Election Commission is getting on with its job now, the manner in which the Chief Election Commissioner is making statements, Mr. Gyanesh Kumar, the manner in which he seems to be directly in a no-holds-barred fight with the opposition, is that something that you would have supported? How would you have handled this situation, Mr. Krishnamurthy?
Question, Chaubey. How do I compare my performance with another person's performance?
No, I'm saying how would you have gone about this question? If you had to settle this question, how would you have gone about it, sir?
Well, I suppose because I do not know all the circumstances which are prevailing in the election commission now. I do not know what are the kinds of documents that have been furnished. All that I know is what is available in the press and the media. The question is, the allegations have been made that there has been voter theft. I do not understand this concept of voter theft now. Please tell me, what does it mean? Voter theft means, at least as I understand, my votes have been taken away by somebody, or somebody has taken votes which they are not entitled to get it. Is that possible under the present circumstances? I will certainly say, you cannot draw a conclusion that the names have been excluded are all my votes. It could have gone to different parties. How can you assume that names that have been excluded are all my votes that have been lost? Similarly, how can you assume names that have been included in the voter list has gone to a particular party and not to another party? There is a basic flaw in this argument because we have a privacy of the vote. We respect the privacy of the vote, and nobody knows how the vote is exercised by an individual voter. So, in the present circumstances, can you really come to a conclusion that there is a voter theft? I don't know. It defies my logic in any case.
So, in your understanding, sir, and that's a good point that you're making, in your understanding, the election commission, the process of election may not be the most perfect, but you will not accept this argument that it is being trampled upon, that it is being ruined, or there is a massive conspiracy which is out there to make the entire process spurious. You won't agree with that situation, sir, with that argument?
I have no reasons to believe. If there is evidence, yes, I would like to certainly verify the evidence. If there is a mass, infiltration of names or mass deletion of names, if there is any basic, ulterior motive. As far as I know, this feature has been continuing for quite some time, that a mass inclusion and mass deletion. And if they have been deliberately done with a view to have some political advantage or electoral advantage, I need evidence. Without evidence, I cannot come to a conclusion that this particular allegation is right or wrong.
Okay, Mr. Krishnamurthy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, sir, and giving us a straightforward answer. If you have no evidence, then don't make allegations. Otherwise, it just remains a straightforward political battle. Always a pleasure speaking to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.